Every neighborhood has its quirks, but here, in the meticulously manicured haven of Maple Creek Estates, our quirks are legislated. We live by the book, you see, the HOA rulebook. And rule number 1, above all else, maintain pristine curb appeal. It's a quiet agreement, a silent pact that keeps our lawns green, our hedges trimmed, and our property values soaring. My name is Sarah, and I've lived in Maple Creek for 15 blissful years. 15 years of perfectly symmetrical mailboxes, not a single rogue dandelion, and a community so harmonious you could practically hear the collective sigh of contentment. Until one Tuesday morning, something broke the mold. Something pink and plastic and utterly, inexplicably gone. Mrs. Henderson, bless her rule-abiding heart, was the unofficial mascot of Maple Creek. Not she herself, of course. That honor belonged to Penelope, her prize-winning, hand-painted, life-sized flamingo lawn ornament. Penelope had been a fixture for decades, a subtle rebellion against the beige monotony, yet somehow perfectly acceptable within the HOA guidelines. She was heritage. But on this Tuesday, Penelope was gone. Not moved, not damaged, just vanished. Mrs. Henderson, usually as composed as a topiary bush, was in hysterics. This wasn't just a missing garden gnome. This was a disruption to the very fabric of Maple Creek Estates. This was a violation of something. The news spread faster than an untrimmed hedge. The community WhatsApp group exploded. Theories flew like rogue leaves in a storm. Was it teenagers from Willow Creek across the highway, a professional flamingo napping ring, or, the most unsettling possibility, one of us? The immediate suspect, of course, was Mr. Peterson. His lawn, while technically meeting HOA standards, was known for its slightly too tall petunias, and he'd once complained about Penelope's distracting shade of pink at an annual meeting. He was interrogated, gently but firmly, by a delegation led by Mrs. Rodriguez, head of the HOA Aesthetics Committee. He had an alibi, a chiropractor appointment. Too perfect, some whispered. My own investigation led me to the house of old Mr. Finch. He lived at the very end of Maple Creek, his house almost hidden by an overgrown but HOA-approved hedge. Mr. Finch was different. He collected vintage garden gnomes, hundreds of them, and he had a reputation for late-night tinkering. I found him in his garage, surrounded by ceramic dwarves, polishing a tiny fishing rod. He seemed surprised by my visit, even a little shifty. He talked about the silent revolution of the garden ornaments and how sometimes they just want to be free. My heart pounded. Could he be the culprit? A rogue garden gnome enthusiast freeing his pink plastic brethren? He denied it, of course, with a wink and a mischievous smile. I left his house more confused than ever. The trail of pink led nowhere. The residents were starting to turn on each other. The HOA email list was a battlefield of accusations and defensive alibis. The harmony of Maple Creek was cracking. I decided to retrace Mrs. Henderson's steps. I walked her usual morning route past the perfectly trimmed rose bushes and the perfectly edged driveways, and then I saw it. Not a flamingo, but another absence. Mrs. Henderson's favorite miniature bird bath, a tiny porcelain teacup, was also gone. It usually sat right next to Penelope. A missing flamingo, a missing bird bath, it didn't feel like a random prank. It felt like preparation. Someone hadn't just stolen Penelope, they'd collected her, and carefully too. The pieces clicked into place. Mr. Finch, his gnomes, the missing bird bath, it wasn't malice, it was collaboration. I rushed back to Mrs. Henderson's house, not to accuse, but to understand. She was sitting on her porch, looking desolate. Mrs. Henderson, your bird bath, the tiny teacup one, is that part of the annual creek cleanup art project for the kids? Her eyes widened. A slow smile spread across her face. Oh, my dear, of course. The children collect natural materials and one found object to make sculptures for the park. I told little Timmy he could use Penelope, but I didn't realize they'd take her so early. We hurried to the Maple Creek Community Park, and there she was, Penelope, resplendent, surrounded by pine cones, pebbles, and painted sticks, the center of a beautiful, slightly lopsided, collaborative art project made by the children of the neighborhood. The HOA, in its strict adherence to rules, had simply forgotten to notify Mrs. Henderson about the new expedited found object collection date. The Great Flamingo mystery was solved. The tension in Maple Creek dissipated like morning dew. Mrs. Henderson got her Penelope back, after the exhibition, of course, and the children learned about community and art, and perhaps about confusing communication from well-meaning HOAs. As for me, I learned that even in a neighborhood governed by stringent rules, there's always room for a little unexpected joy. Sometimes the greatest disruptions lead to the greatest connections, and sometimes the most harmonious communities are the ones that learn to laugh at themselves. Maple Creek Estates returned to its peaceful, perfectly manicured existence, but now when I walked past Mrs. Henderson's lawn, Penelope seemed to wink at me, a little pink secret between us. And who knows, maybe next year, Mr. Peterson's petunias will be just a little taller. If this story reminded you of your own neighbors, give this video a like and share it with your community group. Let's remember to find the pink flamingo moments in our own lives today.